here we go. The lights are coming on here. We are here for RFL Season 14, Round 5 at Bahrain, and it is lights out and away we go. Who has got a good start? Oh, it's contact between a couple of drivers there. It's been a very good start from Verklempt. He takes the lead, and it's 3 wide just behind him as well. Contact a little bit there, but everybody seems to have got through without too much damage. Angelo down in P8 there as he looks to try and regain positions that he's just lost off the start there. Not an ideal start there for the Ferrari driver. Oh, wide there from Azar. That could allow Vibes through. Side by side they go, and up the hill they go as well. Vibes with the inside line. Oh, they make a bit of contact. And Vibes up to P5 there. Angelo is close behind for the Sauber. Side by side they go. That is Tarrier having a little bit of a look on Danny. Angelo, can he make the move stick? Oh, a slide a bit there from Hard. He gets himself back on to the circuit. Is staying as you were for the moment. Oh, that's a spin from KLB. He's got end plate damage as well. That's going to put him down to P10. Verklempt under a bit of pressure from Polytromp now. Polytromp a bit closer this lap and will have the DRS to play with as well. Is it going to be a lead change here as we cross the start finish line? Side by side, the Williams and the McLaren into turn 1. Side by side they go. Who's going to come out on top in this battle? Verklempt will try to defend, and he does so pretty well. And now on to the next DRS zone. It's Polytromp who has it this time, and that gives him the advantage he needs to take the lead of this Bahrain Grand Prix. Into the pits goes KLB, and oh, it's side by side between Hard and Harry. The Sauber into that P8 position now, and into the slipstream goes Angelo, right on the tail of Azar here. Are they going to go side by side into the penultimate corner? No, Angelo wants that DRS down to start finish straight, and if he's going to get that. Side by side they go, the McLaren and Ferrari drivers, and Angelo up into P6 now on those hard tyres. Of course, does look like Danny could potentially line up and move. Verklempt trying to break the toe. No, Verklempt into the pits. So into pits for Verklempt and onto some hard tyres. First of the top 5 into the pits, and Verklempt's going to rejoin the track just behind the Sauber of Hard. He'll want to possibly make an overtake here if he can. Side by side they go, and Verklempt makes the move into turn number 4. And it is going to be DRS for an LTK Tarrier. Is he going to be close enough to make a move? He's getting closer and closer. Is he going to go for it? He has a look. It's not quite enough though. Into turn 1. Now does he just want the DRS for up the run to turn 4, or is he trying to work together with Danny to keep the pace high? Hard into the pits, and what tyre is it going to be for him? It is going to be the hard tyres for Hard for the Sauber. Clamped on the tail of Harry here, as McLaren already pitted onto some hard tyres. And speaking of pitting, Vibes into the pit lane now as Verklempt goes for up the inside into the final corner. Can he make the move stick? He can indeed, as Vibes onto the hard tyre for an Alpine there, and he's going to get some nice clean air into P8. Oh, Tarrier into the wall. That is disastrous there for LTK Tarrier. We just about caught that, and it is an absolute disaster for the V-Carb driver. He's going to have to change his front wing. Angelo up to P3. Danny is almost lonesome in P2, but Tarrier has Verklempt for company now. Verklempt trying to go the long way around the outside. And with that front wing damage from Tarrier, it is a simple move for P5 for Verklempt 99. And into the pits goes the McLaren of Azar from the medium tyre, and let's see what tyre it's going to be for the next stint. It is going to be some hard tyres onto that McLaren car. Into the pits, Tarrier as well as Harry. Will of course be a wing change. Tarrier there. It's hard tyres for both Harry and Tarrier, as we can see there. So Danny into the pits here, and let's see what tyre he will be putting on. It is going to be the hard tyres for Danny. Now see where does he slot into the field. Verklempt has gone through, as we can see there. Now is Danny going to be out ahead or behind of Vibes in the Alpine? It's going to be quite close here. Danny coming out just ahead of Vibes, but Vibes is going to try and hang it. Oh, there's contact between the two of them. That is going to slightly affect the time of Danny as he heads out the pit lane. And oh, Vibes letting Danny through, but I don't think he's too particularly pleased with that. Judging by line into that corner. Oh, and he'll be retires from the session. Yep, into the pits goes Polytromp for Williams, and it's going to be a set of medium tyres. Angelo is into the pits as well, and he's going to go softs. It is softs for the Ferrari of Angelo, and we're going to see Polytromp feed into second position. And now we'll see where Angelo feeds in. It's going to be into the gap between Vibes and Azar. P5 for Angelo for the moment. It is nose to tail now for the leading two drivers. Waiting there to the pit straight, but Polytromp right on the tail now of Verklempt, and side by side they go for the lead. DRS open for the Williams of Polytromp, and he retakes the lead of this Bahrain Grand Prix. Angelo, he's on the tail of Vibes now, and it's going to be some DRS for the Ferrari as Tarrier gets a penalty, but Angelo up to P4 in the Ferrari. And up next for Angelo on his soft tyres is his current championship rival Danny. These two first and second in the standings. Danny leading the way by 11 points. As around the final corner once again will be DRS for Angelo. And is he going to be close enough to make a move? He's closing. And is he going to go up the inside? Yes, he is up the inside into turn 1. Goes Angelo. And he makes the move to P3. Can Danny fight back at all? Hasn't yet, but he is going to get the DRS up towards turn 4. Isn't quite able to make the move there. So it's Angelo up to P3 as he has a wee bit of a slide there coming out of turn 4. And could maybe line himself up for a move. He could be close enough as the DRS opens now for Danny. Will he close up to the Ferrari here? As we head into turn 1, Danny having a look up the inside, but it's not quite enough for a move this time around. Angelo slightly deep into turn 1 there compared to Danny, and it could be a good exit from the Aston Martin. DRS is open and they go side by side heading towards turn 4, and Danny retakes that P3 position, but can Angelo perform a wee switchback move? He tries to, but it doesn't quite come off there for Angelo. Hard into the pits, and let's see what his tyre for the final stint will be, and it is going to be some medium tyres. And also into the pits is Polytromp from the lead of the race. A 2-stop strategy for the leader, and we'll see what tyre it's going to be. Verklempt is also into the pits. It's mediums once more for Polytromp. Harry gets a 3-second penalty. Danny takes the lead. And Verklempt is on a set of the mediums. Angelo into the pits for a set of the mediums as well. Okay. And that's Azar is now ahead of his teammate in P4. Polytromp comes out ahead of Vibes, so that was important there for Polytromp, who's 3 seconds behind Danny, who has stayed out for the moment. As we've got a switch at McLaren, Azar lets his teammate Verklempt through. So Verklempt on some new mediums, and Azar on some old hard tyres. Harry is also into the pits. He's going to go onto some medium tyres. Azar into the pits as well. He goes on to some medium compound tyres. Polytromp right on the tail of Danny now for the lead. Is he going to go for it into the final corner, or is he going to wait for some DNS down the start-finish straight? Looks like Polytromp going side by side with Danny down the start-finish straight. Polytromp retakes the lead of this Bahrain Grand Prix. And Danny having to settle for second position for the moment. We'll now take a look a bit further back. Angelo on the tail of Tarrier, and side by side they go. DRS goes wide open for the Ferrari, and through goes Angelo up to P5 now. Polytromp sets the fastest lap at 29.9 from the Williams driver for this evening. Tarrier pits here from P6, and let's see what tyre he goes on to. It's going to be some medium tyres for the rest of the race for Tarrier. Verklempt with a good exit out of the final corner. He is going to get the DNS here into the slipstream. He goes of the Alpine, and now side by side they go. Verklempt with the DNS makes the move back up to P3 and onto that podium position once again. And through 9 and 10, and it's a penalty for Vibes. Is that going to be crucial? It very well could be, because Angelo has closed up the gap to 4.5 seconds, and I believe that's now 6 seconds of penalties for Vibes. So now that will put Angelo up to 4th place, and meanwhile nose to tail here in the battle for P6. Azar ahead of Tarrier, but for how much longer? Tarrier right tucked into the slipstream there, but is going to be waiting for the start finish straight. It's a good exit from Tarrier out the final corner, and it is going to be side by side with the DRS as well for Tarrier, and the VCARB driver up to P6 now as they go on to the penultimate lap of this Grand Prix. Tarrier gets a penalty. Does that now mean that he needs a 3-second gap? It does mean that. It does indeed mean that. Is Angelo going to go for a move here? We're going to have a look and see. Angelo, DRS open. He's going to go for the move. He's not, so we go back to leader. Polytromp rounds the final corner. Has a bit of a slide as well for some fun. But it is going to be Polytromp across the line, and he will win the Bahrain Grand Prix. As Danny rounds the final corner, he will come home for P2, and Verklempt will be P3. But it's side by side into the final corner. Angelo and Vibes, Angelo and Vibes side by side, and it is Angelo who takes P4 on track. Vibes in P5, and that's hard crossing line for P9 there. Tarrier, he's not quite got the 3-second gap he needs yet. Is he going to get it out the final corner? Could be close. I don't think it's quite going to be enough. No, it's not. Azar will take P6, and it is Tarrier down in P7. And that means that it's going to be Harry finishing in P8.